Keith, sitting in an internet cafe in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, stares at his phone, a WhatsApp message from an unknown number with photos he wishes he'd never seen. I lost $420,000 in Thailand, 7 years of my life. And the worst part? The woman I married wasn't 32, she was 52. And she'd been married to a Thai kickboxer the entire time I knew her. 7 years. 7 years being the joke everyone knew about except me. I'm in Cambodia now, renting a $200 room, surviving on my remaining savings that'll last maybe 18 months if I'm careful. Thailand taught me this. Age gaps aren't romantic, they're transactional. And when you're the only one who doesn't know you're being scammed, you're not in love. You're the punchline. But let me start at the beginning. I'd just taken early retirement from 32 years in civil engineering. I had $620,000. Invested conservatively, earning about 5% annually, that's roughly $2,600 monthly income, plus my small pension of $1,400. Total, $4,000 a month to live on. My wife had passed away 3 years earlier. Ovarian cancer. After 28 years and 2 grown kids, losing Margaret left me hollow. The house felt too big. The silence too loud. My daughters had their own families in California and Texas. I'd become the obligation they called every Sunday out of duty, not desire. I'd spent my life being responsible, working 60-hour weeks, coaching Little League when I was exhausted, putting everyone else first. I felt like I'd earned the right to be selfish for once, to do something just for me. A buddy from work had retired to Thailand 2 years earlier. He kept emailing photos, beaches, cheap beer, smiling locals. "You can live like a king on $2,000 a month," he'd say. I thought he was exaggerating. Turned out he wasn't wrong about the cost of living, just wrong about everything else. I'd visited once in 2014 on a package tour, Bangkok, Phuket, the usual tourist route. The warmth felt good after Maryland winters. The food was incredible. The people seemed genuinely friendly. When I came home, I couldn't stop thinking about it. January 2017, I arrived in Pattaya. I'd chosen it because my friend said it was the expat hub, plenty of English speakers, easy to navigate, beach access, walking off the plane into that wall of tropical heat, seeing palm trees and chaos and tuk-tuks everywhere. I felt something I hadn't felt since Margaret died. Hope. I rented a 1-bedroom condo in Jomtien for 15,000 baht, about $430. The place had a pool, was walking distance to the beach, and came furnished. I was spending maybe $1,500 monthly total, living better than I had in Maryland on 4 times that amount. If I'd kept it simple, stayed in that condo, made expat friends, enjoyed the beach, none of this would have happened. But I was thinking about companionship, about not eating dinner alone every night, about having someone to share this new life with. Then I met her. I'd been in Thailand 4 months when I met her. It was a Friday night in May. I'd walked down Beach Road, past the usual chaos of bars and street vendors. I stopped at a small open-air restaurant called Smile Bar. I'd walked past dozens of girls outside various venues, but this one caught my eye. She was sitting at the bar, alone, reading something on her phone. She looked up and smiled, not the aggressive, sales pitch smile I'd gotten used to, but something softer. She was pretty, slim, long dark hair. She looked young, but not teenage young, maybe early 30s, I thought. I ordered a Chang beer. She moved 1 stool closer. "You come here before?" Her English was broken but understandable. "First time," I said. "I Korn," she said, offering her hand. "Short for Ratana Korn. You, Keith." We talked. Her English wasn't great, but something about her felt different from the other bar girls I'd encountered. She asked questions about America. She laughed at my terrible attempts at Thai. When I made a joke about the traffic, she actually got it. Within an hour, she told me about her life. She was from a small village in Isan Surin province. Her parents were rice farmers. She'd come to Pattaya 5 years ago to make money to send home. "Thai man no good," she said, shaking her head. "Drink too much, no work, hit woman." She said she was 32, divorced, no kids. She worked at the bar part-time serving drinks, not as a bar girl. She was quick to clarify that. I not go with customer. I just work here. Corn wasn't pushy like the others. She didn't immediately ask for drinks or money. She seemed genuinely interested in talking to me, not just extracting cash. I know what you're thinking. But with her, it felt different. She seemed authentic. Educated, even she'd gone to technical college. She said, I thought maybe I'd found someone who wanted companionship as much as I did. When I asked if she wanted to have dinner the next night, she smiled. I like that. I paid my bill 400 baht and left her 500 as a tip. She seemed genuinely grateful. I had no idea I'd just failed the test. Over the next 3 months, life felt like I'd stepped into a second chance. Corn and I fell into a routine. She'd finish her shift at the bar around 11 p.m., and we'd get late-night food at the street stalls. Weekends, we'd ride my rented motorbike to quieter beaches. I gave her 15,000 baht monthly, about $430 as an allowance so she could quit the bar. She said she wanted to, but needed the income. I understood. My budget was holding steady. Pension and investment income, $4,000 monthly. Rent $430. Food maybe $400. Corn's allowance, $430. Miscellaneous, $300. I was still saving about $2,400 a month. Felt sustainable. 2 months in, she said her mother was sick. Needed to see a doctor in Surin. Could I help? 12,000 baht, $350. I didn't want to say no. If I refused, what did that say about me? That I didn't care about her family? But this was the first time she'd asked for extra money beyond the allowance. It felt like a test. I gave it. She cried, hugged me, said I was a good man. Her mother would be so grateful. Looking back, this was the test and I failed. She learned I'd always say yes. The floodgates had been opened. By September, we were talking marriage. I hadn't planned it. But one evening at sunset on Jomtien Beach, watching the sky turn orange, I asked her, would you marry me? She looked shocked. Then tears came. You sure? You want marry Thai lady? I'm sure. She said yes. Then came the talk about her family. They'd want a traditional ceremony in her village. Buddhist monks. The whole village invited. And sinsot, she said carefully. You know sinsot? I knew the bride price. For those who don't know, it's a Thai tradition where the groom gives money and gold to the bride's family as a show of respect and financial stability. Westerners debate whether it's cultural tradition or tourist tax. I'd heard stories of guys paying anywhere from 50,000 baht to $500,000. Korn's family wanted 500,000 baht, about $14,500. I felt my stomach tighten. 14 grand for what? Permission to marry a bar worker? That's a lot of money, Korn. My family want to make sure you take care of me. Show you serious, man. She looked hurt that I'd questioned it. You not have? I had it. That wasn't the point. But I thought we're getting married. What's mine becomes ours anyway, right? If this makes her family happy, if it starts our marriage on good terms, maybe it's worth it. I negotiated down to 400,000 baht, $11,600. Still insane, but I told myself it was an investment in family harmony. I was wrong. It was the down payment on my destruction. December 2017, we married in her village. The ceremony was beautiful, honestly, monks chanting, flower garlands, the whole village celebrating. The ceremony itself cost another 80,000 baht, $2,300. Food, decorations, donations to the temple. I paid everything. Korn was radiant. Her family was warm and welcoming. A month later, we had a smaller ceremony in Pattaya for my expat friends. Another 40,000 baht, $1,150. At this point, I'd spent initial help and dates, $2,500, monthly allowances, 6 months, $2,580, mother's medical, $350, sinsot, $11,600, village wedding. $2,300. Pattaya ceremony, $1,150. Total, $20,480. I had $599,520 left. Still comfortable, still manageable. I thought marriage would settle things, that she'd relax, we'd build a life together, the money requests would stop. I was wrong. This was just the beginning. The first year of marriage passed quickly, too quickly. We moved into a bigger condo in Pratumnak Hill. Rent was 25,000 baht, $725. Better view, nicer building, pool and gym. Korn said we needed more space if we were serious about our life together. Monthly expenses became rent, $725, food, $500, Korn's allowance, $575, she said. Costs went up. Her family, $290, regular, support, utilities, internet, motorbike, $350. Miscellaneous, $300. Total, $2,740. My income was still $4,000. I was saving $1,260 monthly instead of $2,400. Not alarming yet, but the buffer was shrinking. Korn started wanting things. Not huge things, a new phone here, nice clothes there, dinners at better restaurants. She'd see what other Farang wives had and feel inadequate. One afternoon she saw a handbag in Central Festival Mall. Louis Vuitton. 45,000 baht. $1,300. Can I have? She asked, trying it on, admiring herself in the mirror. My instinct was no, that's insane for a purse. But she looked so happy holding it. And I thought it's only $1,300. I'd spent more on car repairs back home. I bought it. She posted photos on Facebook immediately, tagging me. My husband take care me so good. Looking back, that phrase destroyed me. It's only dozens of times over the years I justified purchases because individually they weren't huge, but they added up. 3 months later, her father's water buffalo died. Needed to buy a new one. 30,000 baht. $870. Korn cried on the phone with her mother. Water buffalo were essential for farming. Without one, they couldn't work their land. I sent the money. Of course I did. What kind of son-in-law lets his wife's family suffer over something fixable? This happened every few months. Always urgent. Always expensive. Her brother's motorbike broke down. Her sister's kid needed school fees. Her mother needed dental work. Each time, 10,000 to 40,000 baht. Each time, Korn would tear up, stress about her family, make me feel like refusing would be cruel. Then Korn started comparing me to other men. Her friend Nok's husband bought her a car. Her cousins Farang bought land and built a house. They take care family. You not want take care. It made me feel inadequate, defensive, like I wasn't doing enough even though I was bleeding money. She started spending more time on her phone, taking calls in the other room. When I'd ask who she was talking to, she'd say my friend or my sister or why you not trust me. I noticed but said nothing, told myself I was being paranoid. She'd gotten defensive when I'd questioned things before, accused me of not trusting her. I didn't want to be that jealous foreign husband. I felt alone even though I was married. My American friends had drifted away. Most thought I was crazy for marrying a bar girl. My expat friends in Pattaya nodded sympathetically but clearly thought I was being played. I was too proud to admit they might be right. By mid-2019, I'd spent another $31,000 beyond the monthly budget. Cumulative total, $51,480. Down to $568,520 in savings. Still okay, still salvageable. Then Korn started talking about buying a house. We pay rent too much, she said one evening. Waste money. Should buy our house. Investment. This was when things went from bad to catastrophic. Word count. 860 words. Timestamp. 8, 12, 12. 11:30 August 2019. Korn said. We should build our own house. She'd been planning it. Showed me photos on her phone, modern Thai houses with big porches, tiled floors, Western kitchens. She'd found land in her village. Her family knew the owner. Good price, 800,000 baht for the land, maybe 1.5 million to build. Total, 2.3 million baht, about $67,000. I was hesitant. That was over 10% of my total savings. I can't own land in Thailand, Korn. It'd all be in your name. We married? Same, she said, looking hurt. I, your wife. I not run away. You not trust me. It's not about trust. It's about legal protection. You think I bad person? You think I take house and leave you? Tears formed. Why you marry me if you think like this? Her family started calling. Her mother said it was shameful we were still renting. Her father said a real husband provides a home. Korn grew distant, sad. The pressure mounted from every direction. I started to convince myself she was right. We could stop paying rent, $725 monthly saved. The house would cost $67,000 less than 3 years of rent in Maryland. Property in Thailand was cheap and appreciating. Even if things went south, I'd only be out a fraction of my savings. And we're married. What's mine is ours anyway, right? For those who don't know, foreigners can't own land in Thailand. You can own the structure, the house itself, but not the land underneath. If the relationship ends, you lose everything. She owns it. You have zero legal protection. You can't force a sale. Can't claim half. Nothing. I knew all of this. Other expats had warned me. I'd read the horror stories online. I knew the risks, but I did it anyway. I convinced myself we were different, that Korn loved me, that she'd never betray me. Looking back, I want to shake myself awake. This was the point of no return. Over the next 6 months, we bought the land and began construction. We purchased the land in her name, 800,000 baht. Then hired contractors, her uncle and cousin, of course. We designed it together, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, Western kitchen, big porch. She was excited, involved, planning every detail. The original 1.5 million baht estimate became 2.1 million because we wanted better materials, air conditioning in all rooms, a nice fence. Her family suggested upgrades. Only little bit more, they'd say. Each time, I agreed. Total for land and house, 2.9 million baht, $84,000. When we signed papers, everything was in Thai. Her uncle handled the construction contracts. I wasn't included in financial discussions. Thai way, they said. I gave Korn chunks of money as needed, 300,000 here, 500,000 there. Never saw receipts. Amounts kept changing. Money disappeared into fees and materials. I thought, what if things go wrong? Her whole family is involved. They'll all side with her, but I said nothing. Didn't want to insult them. Didn't want to be the paranoid foreigner. Red flags were everywhere. I ignored them all. By March 2020, the house was complete. By then, I'd spent $84,000 on a house I didn't legally own, down to $484,000, $520 less than 80% of what I'd started with. I'd also pulled $30,000 from investments to cover the construction, dropping my monthly income from $2,600 to $2,450, a loss of $150 monthly. When we got the keys, I felt proud, relieved. The house was beautiful, modern, ours. Korn seemed happy, posted photos everywhere. Her family threw a housewarming party. Everyone congratulated me on being such a good husband. I thought, now we can settle down. Now she'll be satisfied. We'll live simply, save money again, enjoy retirement together. I was wrong. Within months, things started going wrong. Word count, 590 words. Timestamp, 11/30/13/48. 6 months after building the house, things started falling apart. Korn's family moved in, not temporarily, permanently. Her parents, her younger brother, sometimes her sister with 2 kids. They treated the house like a family compound. I'd come home to find 8 people there. They'd cook, eat, leave messes, expect me to pay for everything: food, utilities, repairs. Between groceries, feeding everyone, electricity for running multiple air conditioners all day, water, and constant repairs, plumbing issues, roof leaking during rainy season, the house cost 35,000 baht, monthly $1,015, more than we'd ever paid in rent. When I tried to talk to Korn about boundaries, she got angry. They my family. You want me throw away my family? What kind of man you are? I felt trapped. Say nothing and go broke feeding everyone. Speak up and be the cruel Farang who abandoned his wife's family. Her family had new emergencies constantly. April 2020, her brother's motorbike broke. Needed 18,000 baht to fix $520. June. Her mother needed cataract surgery. 45,000 baht. $1,300. August. Her father wanted a new water pump for the rice field. 22,000 baht, $640. October. Her sister's husband left, needed money for the kids. 30,000 baht, $870. Over 18 months, I'd sent her family an additional 280,000 baht, $8,100. More than I'd spent on myself in 2 years. Meanwhile, Korn and I barely had sex anymore. Maybe once a month, and even then she seemed distant, obligatory. We'd gone from passionate newlyweds to roommates who occasionally slept in the same bed. We argued constantly, always about money. She'd want something. I'd hesitate. She'd accuse me of being cheap. You have money, why you not want help? She spent more time at her village without me. Visit my parents, she'd say, disappearing for 3-4 days at a time. She wouldn't answer calls, would text back hours later. Her phone was suddenly password protected. She'd leave the room to take calls. When I asked who was calling, she'd snap. Why you always ask? You don't trust me? Korn seemed unhappy all the time. Resentful. Like she wanted to be anywhere but with me. I started to suspect something. The pieces didn't add up. But I didn't want to believe it. I got defensive when my expat buddy, Gary, hinted she might be cheating. You don't know her like I do, I'd said. I was too proud to admit I might be wrong. Too invested to walk away. Too afraid of losing everything I'd built. By late 2021, I'd spent an additional $46,000 since building the house. Cumulative total: $181,480 spent in Thailand. Remaining: $438,520 in savings. Monthly income now: $2,450. After investment, withdrawals, monthly expenses: $3,200 plus house, family, Korn, living. Deficit: $750. Monthly, $9,000 annually. Bleeding from savings. I felt trapped, depressed, too proud to admit failure. Like I couldn't leave because I'd lose the house, lose everything, and have to admit to everyone I'd been played. I kept telling myself, things will get better. She's just stressed. This is temporary. Then I couldn't ignore the signs anymore. One afternoon in February 2022, I came home early from a dentist appointment in Pattaya. The house was quiet. Korn's motorbike wasn't there. She'd said she was going to the market. But as I walked toward the bedroom to change, I heard voices from the back porch. I looked through the kitchen window. Korn was there with a man, Thai guy, younger than me, maybe late 40s. Muscular, tattooed arms, tank top. They were sitting close, laughing. He had his hand on her knee. My stomach dropped. They both looked up, startled. "Who's this?" I asked. Korn stood quickly. She said, recovering. "My friend from village. He just visit." The man Somchai nodded at me, not bothering to look concerned. "How long have you been friends?" I asked, my voice tight. "Long time," she said casually. "Before I meet you. He just here visit family. Stop to say hello." Everything about this felt wrong. The way they'd been sitting, the way she'd jumped up, The casual way he looked at me, not guilty, not apologetic, like I was the intruder. "Nice to meet you," Somchai said, in surprisingly good English. Then he stood, said something to Korn in Thai, and left. "Why he here?" I asked after he'd driven off. "I told you just visit. Why you so angry?" "He just friend. Friends don't sit that close. You so jealous. Always think something bad." "I can't have friend?" She stormed inside. I let it go, but I couldn't shake the feeling. Over the next week, I started watching more carefully. I noticed she'd text constantly. Phone tilted away from me. She'd smile at messages, then quickly close the screen when I came near. She started going to her village more often, twice a week now, sometimes staying overnight. "My mother need help," she'd say. One night while she slept, I checked her phone. She'd changed the password, but I knew her patterns. I tried her birthday wrong. I tried her mother's birthday, it unlocked. I opened Line Messenger. There were messages with someone saved as N, recent, frequent, intimate. "Miss you already. When you come back? Can't wait to see you Friday." And photos. Photos of them together. Korn, sitting on a motorbike behind him. Somchai. Another photo. Them at a restaurant. Another. Her smiling, leaning against him. The dates these. Went back 2 years. Long before I ever saw them on the porch. My hands were shaking. Somchai had asked. 30,000 for my family, Korn replied. Good. Maybe 400,000 inches his account. He stupid not check. Another exchange. When you leave him, when I get house finished and money saved. Not yet, need more. I read it 3, 4, 5 times. Suddenly, everything made sense. That time the old man had approached her at the restaurant months ago, speaking Thai, and she'd acted weird. He'd probably known about Somchai and was warning me. The money she'd asked for her mother's surgery. I'd never seen medical documents. Had there even been a surgery? Her behavior over the past year, the distance, the lack of intimacy, the resentment. She'd never loved me. She was, waiting for the right moment to take everything and leave. That house I'd built it for her and Somchai. I was funding their future. I checked her photos. Found pictures I'd never seen. Korn and Somchai at beaches, at restaurants, at temples. They looked like a couple. They were a couple. I checked the dates. Some were from before we'd even met. She'd had a boyfriend the entire time. I calculated it. I'd given her roughly $180,000 over 5 years. How much had gone to him? To fund their life together while I played the fool. That Gary, my expat buddy, had tried to tell me a year ago. I saw your wife. With some Thai guy in Surin. Just thought you should know. I'd gotten defensive. Mind your own business. She visits her family. He'd been right. I felt physically sick. Betrayed on a level I didn't know was possible. But mostly, I felt empty. Like the past 5 years had been erased. Had any of it been real? How could I have been so blind? So desperate? So stupid? I had to decide whether to confront her immediately or investigate further. But I couldn't keep this inside. I needed to hear her admit it. I needed to face her. The next morning, Korn came home around 11 a.m. She'd been at her mother's overnight. I was sitting at the kitchen table with her phone. I'd taken it while she showered the night before, and she'd been looking for it all morning. Looking for this, I said, placing it on the table. She went pale. Why you have my phone? Sit down. Give me my phone. Sit down. She sat, eyes darting between me and the phone. Who is Somchai? I asked. I told you, friend from village. Don't lie to me. I opened her phone, showed her the messages. I read everything. Her face shifted. The mask cracked. She looked down. He just, don't. I read it all, the photos, the plans. How I'm stupid. How you're waiting until you get enough money. She said nothing. How long? I demanded. Silence. How long, Korn? Since before we met, she finally said, quietly. My chest tightened. Before? He, my boyfriend, long time. When I meet you, we already together. So this entire time, 5 years of marriage, you were with him? She nodded. I felt my hands shaking. Why did you marry me? She looked up, defiant now. The tears were gone. You know why. Say it. You have money. I need money. He no have money, she said it matter-of-factly, like explaining something obvious to a child. So I was what? A bank account? You want Thai wife. I give you Thai wife. You want someone take care you. I do that. Everyone get what they want. I wanted someone who loved me. She laughed bitterly. Love? You 60 years old. I 32 when we meet. You think I love you? You think any Thai girl love old Farang? No. We need money. You need young wife. This business. The words hit like punches. Did you ever love me? Even a little? She shrugged. Maybe at first. Little bit. You were nice. But Somchai, I love him. You. Finish with me? I built you a house. I gave your family everything they asked for. And now I have. House. She interrupted. Thank you. The cruelty was breathtaking. No remorse. No guilt. Just cold transaction. Where did the money go? I asked. The money for your mother's surgery, your father's equipment, your brother's motorbike. Some real, some to Somchai. Some I save. How much did you save? Maybe 600,000 baht. In account you don't know. About $17,000. She'd skimmed $17,000 off my gifts to her family. Who else knows? Does your family know? Of course they know. Everyone know. Village know. Only you don't know. The humiliation was crushing. I'd been the village joke, the stupid Farang everyone whispered about. The ATM with a heartbeat. I want a divorce. Okay, she said simply. But house is mine. My name. You get nothing. I paid for that house. But Thai law say it mine. You Farang, you can't own land. You want fight in Thai court. You lose. You know this. She was right. I had zero legal recourse. Everything was in her name. I'd signed it all away. Get out, I said, my voice breaking. This my house. Get out. She stood, grabbed her phone. I go to Somchai. He come back later for my things. You want fight? I bring him and his friends, you understand? It was a threat. Somchai was a former Muay Thai fighter. She'd mentioned it once casually. I'd thought nothing of it then. Now I understood. She had muscle. I had nothing. She left. I sat there for an hour, staring at the walls of a house I'd built but didn't own. Everything I'd invested was gone. The house, $84,000 in a structure I couldn't claim. Years of allowances, $35,000. Family emergencies, $42,000. Sinsot and weddings, $15,080. Miscellaneous gifts and expenses, $28,000. Total, $204,080. I'd never see again. I had maybe $415,000 left in savings, but my monthly income was now $2,450, and my deficit was bleeding me at $750 month. If child, insert here, I'd spent 5 years, believing I was building something real, that I was loved, that I had a family, but I'd been alone the entire time. A paycheck, a mark, the punchline. I decided right then. I was leaving Thailand. I couldn't stay another day. This country had taken everything. Over the next 2 weeks, I stayed in a cheap hotel in Pattaya while I figured out my exit. As I went through paperwork and talked to people, I learned more truths. The emergency surgeries her mother supposedly needed. I called a mutual acquaintance in Surin. Her mother was fine. Healthy. No surgeries. The money had gone elsewhere. The business losses her brother suffered. He didn't have a business. Never did. Her cousin, managing some project. Actually Somchai's brother. She had a second bank account I'd never known about, the one where she'd squirreled away nearly $17,000 from my family gifts. She'd been posting photos on Facebook with Somchai for years. I'd just been blocked from seeing them. All her friends knew. Her family knew. Other expats in Surin knew. People at the bars in Pattaya knew. Gary had tried to tell me a year earlier. Everyone's talking about your wife, man. She's got a Thai boyfriend. I saw them together. I'd gotten defensive, told him to mind his own business, and stopped talking to him. He'd been trying to help. I'd been too proud to listen. I'd been played from the start. The moment I gave her that first 500 baht tip at Smile Bar, she'd clocked me as an easy mark. Kind, lonely, desperate, older. Someone who'd believe he was special. The entire village had been in on it. When I'd paid Sinsot, they'd celebrated. When I'd built the house, they'd congratulated me. All while knowing I was funding Korn and Somchai's future. I'd been the walking wallet everyone whispered about behind my back. The stupid Farang who thought age gaps didn't matter if you were different. I sat down and calculated everything. Year 1 to 2. $51,480. Sinsod. Wedding. Early support. Year 3. $84,000. House. Construction. Year 4 to 5. $68,600. Family support. Escalating expenses. Total. $204,080. I had $415,920 left, about 67% of what I'd started with. My monthly income had dropped from $4,000 to $2,450 after pulling from investments. My Thailand expenses had been running $3,200 monthly, meaning I'd been deficit spending $750 month or $9,000 annually. I couldn't afford to stay. Even if I wanted to, which I didn't, I'd burn through everything in a few years. I was 66 years old. Too old to rebuild savings. Too old to work full-time, facing a retirement of poverty because I'd trusted someone who'd never loved me. This was when I finally understood Thailand. All those years, I'd thought I was building a life here. That Thailand welcomed foreigners, that the smiles were genuine. But the truth was I'd always been just an ATM. From day one, I was seen as money, nothing more. Those Thai smiles, they smile while taking everything. Thailand tolerates foreigners as long as money flows. The moment it stops, you're disposable. After 5 years, I was still Farang, still an outsider. I'd never belong. The whole system is set up this way. Foreigners can't own land, can't have business control. Courts favor Thais. You're legally defenseless. I couldn't sleep. Lost 15 pounds. Started drinking heavily. Felt suicidal some days. I had no one to talk to. I'd alienated friends. Was too embarrassed to tell my daughters. Too ashamed to admit what happened. I'd thought of myself as smart, successful, but I'd been the biggest fool. I chose to leave Thailand before I lost anything more, because I had no other choice. 3 weeks after the confrontation, I left Thailand for good. The last time I saw Korn, she was moving Somchai into the house I'd paid for. His truck was parked in the driveway I'd had paved, his clothes hanging where mine used to hang. She didn't even have the decency to wait until I'd left the country. I asked for a divorce. She demanded 200,000 baht, $5,800 to sign the papers quickly. Or we wait 2 years for court, she said. I paid it. Another $5,800 to escape the nightmare faster. What I left behind? The house. $84,000 in a structure I'd never see again, now home to Korn and her kickboxer boyfriend. 5 years of financial support, $120,080, that had funded their relationship. My dignity, priceless and completely destroyed. Total lost, $204,080, and 5 years of my life. What I left with, $410,120 in cash and investments. About 66% of what I'd started with. I couldn't afford to live in Thailand anymore anyway. My monthly deficit had been $750. I would have bled out completely in a few years. I flew to Cambodia. Cheaper cost of living, lower rent, fewer memories. I'm in Phnom Penh now, in a $200 month studio apartment. It's small, hot, And the Wi-Fi barely works. But it's mine, and no one here knows what happened to me. I'm living on $900 monthly, my reduced investment income plus strict budgeting. I teach English online, 4 hours a day just to add another $400 monthly buffer. At 66 years old, I'm working again just to survive. I don't talk to other expats much, too embarrassed. They all have the same knowing look when they hear, "I just came from Thailand." They've heard this story 1,000 times. I'm not unique. I'm not special. I'm just another cautionary tale. My daughters know I'm divorced. They don't know why. Too ashamed to admit their father was scammed by a bar girl half his age, who was actually 20 years older than she claimed, and married to a Thai boxer the whole time. How do you admit that? How do you say, "I gave away your inheritance to a woman who was laughing at me behind my back for 5 years. Thailand took everything from me. My savings, $204,080. My time, 5 years. My dignity, completely shattered. My trust, destroyed permanently. My retirement dreams, gone. My relationship with reality. I still question every judgment I make. What it gave me. Lessons I didn't want to learn. Memories that wake me up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat, understanding of how utterly foolish love can make you. The knowledge that I'll die poor because I trusted someone. Thailand is set up for this. Foreigners have no legal protection. Property laws favor Thais. Courts side with locals. The culture doesn't just enable scamming foreigners, it quietly celebrates it. The stupid Farang who thought he was special. Not all Thais are scammers, I know that intellectually. But the system that allows foreigners to be legally robbed, that protects women like corn, that makes it profitable to lie to lonely old men. That's systemic. And the age gap. God, the age gap. I was 59 when we met. She told me she was 32. She was actually 52. We were the same generation. And I never noticed because I wanted to believe the fantasy. No 32-year-old falls in love with a 60-year-old. I knew that. Every man knows that. But we lie to ourselves because the alternative admitting we're just wallets is too painful. Until it's too late. I'm in Cambodia now, broke, working at retirement age, living in a hot box, completely alone, all because I believed a smile. If you're reading this, learn from my mistakes. Don't be me. Save yourself. Here are 7 things I learned the hard way after losing $204,080, 5 years, and my entire retirement. Lesson has shown. Never put property in her name. Never put property in her name. I thought we're married, so it's ours. The truth is, the moment it's in her name, it's hers legally. You have 0 claim. You can't get it back. Thai courts won't help you. You signed it away. Rent instead, it's cheaper than losing a house. If she insists on a house in her name, walk away immediately. Don't let culture or tradition talk you into giving up legal protection. This mistake cost me $84,000. Lesson #2. Age gaps aren't romantic. They're transactional. If the age gap is 20+ years, it's not love. Period. I was 59, she 10, claimed to be 32. She wasn't attracted to me, she was attracted to my wallet. No 25-year-old genuinely falls for a 50-year-old. No 32-year-old genuinely wants a 60-year-old. Ask yourself, would she be with you if you had no money? If she calls you handsome man but won't be seen with you in public photos, you're an ATM with a pulse. And if she's lying about her age by 20 years? You're not even a person to her. You're a transaction. Lesson #3. Family. Emergencies never stop. The family emergencies never stop. Her mother needs surgery. You pay. Her father's buffalo dies. You pay. Her brother's motorbike breaks. You pay. Next month, another relative, another crisis. Half aren't real. Her family sees you as an ATM they access through her. They'll bleed you dry if you let them. Say no to the first request. Set boundaries immediately. Her family's problems are not your responsibility. If she pressures you, threatens to leave, or cries, that's manipulation, not love. I sent $42,000 to her family. Never saw a single baht benefit us. It all went to funding her life with her real boyfriend. Lesson #4. Don't invest in her business dreams or major purchases. Don't invest in her business dreams or big purchases she wants. She wants a restaurant, a salon, a guest house. She promises profits. The business will fail, lose money every month, or be mismanaged by her relatives who steal from it. She has no real experience. Her family will run it into the ground. It was never about profit, just getting your money. Never invest money you can't afford to lose completely. Better yet, just say no from the start. Lesson #5. Sinsot is a foreigner tax. Sinsot is a foreigner tax, not tradition. They'll tell you it's cultural, that you have to pay it to show respect. It's extracting maximum money at the start under the guise of tradition. Thai men don't always pay sinsot. When they do, it's often returned after the ceremony. For foreigners, it almost never is. Refuse to pay it. If she insists, her family demands it, or she threatens to cancel the wedding, massive red flag. Walk away. I paid $11,600. It funded the life she was building with another man. Lesson #6. Red flags are patterns. Don't ignore them. The red flags were there from day one. I ignored every single one. She kept her bar job even after I gave her an allowance. She was secretive with her phone. Old men approached her knowingly. Her friends acted weird around me. She disappeared to her village constantly. Money requests escalated. She got defensive when questioned. I didn't want to see the truth. I was too invested to back out. I was too proud to admit I'd made a mistake. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it is. Multiple red flags aren't coincidence, they're a pattern. Your gut knows before your brain admits it. Listen to friends who warn you. They see what you refuse to see. Lesson #7. Thailand isn't your friend. Know the legal reality. Thailand is not your friend. This isn't about hating Thai people, it's about understanding the legal system that offers foreigners zero protection. You can't own land ever. Maximum business ownership, 49%. Marriage doesn't grant property rights. Courts favor Thais. You'll always be Farang, always an outsider with no legal standing. Visit Thailand. Enjoy the beaches, the food, the culture. But never build your life there. Never sacrifice your financial security. Never put yourself in a position where you're legally defenseless. If you live there, rent. Keep your money offshore, and understand you're a guest who can be kicked out at any time with nothing. Summary. These 7 lessons cost me $204,080 in 5 years. I'm giving them to you for free. Maybe someone will listen. Maybe my story will save one person from making the same mistakes. Final message. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking about moving to Thailand. You're in love with a bar girl. You think your situation is different. Don't do what I did. Don't put property in her name. Don't believe the age gap doesn't matter. Don't ignore red flags because you're in love. Don't trust someone you met in a bar. Don't assume marriage changes anything, because you'll end up like me, broke at 66, working in retirement, living in a $200 room in Cambodia, unable to fix what you've destroyed. If you're considering Thailand, visit. Don't move permanently. Keep your money in your home country. Rent, never buy. Set a monthly budget and stick to it religiously. Assume every woman you meet in a bar is working because she is. If the age gap is over 15 years, it's transactional. If you're already there seeing red flags, get out now before you're in too deep. Don't fall for sunk cost fallacy. Cut your losses. Better to lose some now than everything later. Your pride isn't worth your entire future. Listen to the expats trying to warn you. I lost $204,080. 5 years of my life, my retirement, my dignity, the respect of my children. I'll die poor because I trusted a smile and ignored reality. Don't let Thailand do to you what it did to me. Please, learn from my mistakes. Don't be another one of these stories. Just don't do it.